there two things there? Like, is our screens normal right now?
Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that.
What the hell? What's this?
Hello, everybody. Again, sorry for the technical difficulties. That's what happens sometimes when you try something new. But yeah, we're back. Things have
Welcome
gone
back.
from bad to worse on our side. Technical difficulties and AFC Toronto have taken the lead. It is a 3-0 on aggregate now. And again, it was direct play. It's a ball over the top, and then it's just simple. It's just simple and it's efficient. So again, Montreal losing the midfield battle, and defense is kind of at the mercy of that. So that ship has to be right before any kind of hope for a comeback is possible.
Look, I think Roses FC needed to score, punch Toronto in the mouth first, in order to have any hope, because right now they're down 3-0. With this early on goal, how does Roses FC react? Because honestly, the way we've talked about it a bunch of times on the show, Elias, Roses FC has fallen flat so many times, has failed to show much energy throughout the games, and this is the kind of game where you show your best hand. Coach Robert Rossitoyi shows his best hand, and that's it. And I think he's showing his best hand, but it doesn't mean anything, because right now you're down 3-0. You're playing away from home. I mean, what are we doing at this point, right? So it's this season is slipping away, and it's slipping away fast, with every minute passing. I mean,
At least the field looks nice. Could you imagine if this was played yesterday? Oh my god!
my God, that would have been so good. There were more
No,
games
it's
played yesterday,
terrible.
huh? It's
I mean, did you see the CPL final?
oh man, incredible. Just
Like
it
it's
was
funny.
much
It
fun.
was funny, and like I watched it with my family. It was hilarious. We were laughing the entire time. But in a more serious sense, this is an embarrassment.
Yeah,
Everyone's like, "Oh, this is so Canadian." It's like, then
it is.
should it be? Because everything looked incompetent and amateurish. And if you have, like a high school game played like this, yeah, that's funny and it'll go viral. That's cute. This is your professional league, and this is the final. You're really telling me that the whoever makes the Champions League next season is going to be determined by a game like this? It doesn't look good,
Yeah.
right? Doesn't change how entertaining it was. Because again, my brother and I were laughing our asses off the entire time. But that's not a good thing. You should not be watching the biggest game of the season and laughing for 90 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, look, you want to go viral, and you want to go viral for the right reasons. I think they went viral for the right reasons, but for anybody, how it
Thank
is.
God for the bicycle kick. Thank
Yeah,
God
and
for the bicycle kick, because or
yeah,
else it would have been
the
no
the
one would be
goalie
talking about it.
shoveling snow in the middle of
Yeah,
the field. Yeah,
that
yeah,
was embarrassing.
yeah.
That's a
There's no way
professional
that
athlete.
there's no way that that game should have been played. We've
No,
seen worse, in other countries, but it's not the
it's
way.
all relative, right? But yeah, like everyone makes fun of like countries like warmer countries that play on like
Yeah,
on fields that are 80% dirt, and like, but this is just as bad. This is arguably worse.
yeah.
So you know what? Anyway,
I think both teams were kind of happy it was over when it was. You could tell, but I mean, obviously sad when for the team that
yeah,
lost.
because the thing now is either team, right? Regardless of how they're losing, they're going to feel cheated because they didn't get the chance to. They didn't get a real chance to play.
Yeah,
Right? They got half an hour of actual soccer, and that was played on a field that had been snowed on for a whole day, and
mhm.
then de-snowed in a rush in half an hour. So there was still snow all over the place. Anyway,
Yeah. There was nothing
yeah,
normal about that game. It's happened before in football, but football is an institution, the whole different institution
yeah.
has everything on the go, ready to go. I don't think the CPL is nowhere near the NFL level,
But
and
it's also the fact that like how often does the ball how often is the ball on the ground in
oh
football?
Jesus, okay, offsides. Sorry. But I mean, look, going back to the Roses game right now, the way we're seeing it is this game.
Yeah.
We talked about it a little bit earlier. The most important thing is how Roses FC reacts to this score, and it just feels like they're not really reacting. They're just kind of waiting for the game to come to them and hoping that Toronto makes a mistake.
It
And I'm
feels
sorry,
disjointed. Yeah,
we've
that's offside.
played Toronto three times this month. I think 3 times already.
Hmm.
Each time Toronto
Three times in a row. This is the third game in a row.
has thoroughly dominated Roses FC. It's they at this point Roses FC
Yeah,
shouldn't be surprised by what they bring. I mean, they're turning around the defenders, they're turning around the midfielders. I mean, what I really I'm still asking the question, Elias, what is Roses FC identity right now?
I don't
Because
think they know. That's the problem.
it,
And here's the thing, right? A lot. This is still a strong 11, right?
yeah,
This isn't a bad 11 by any means. The problem is some of these players should be depth players,
yeah,
right? And again, this is we're already getting into the postmortem talk, and I don't really want to get into the postmortem talk too early, given the state of what's happening. But some of these you don't have difference makers, someone that can reliably go out there and win you the game,
yeah.
right? And this team right now is not operating at a high enough level to win by committee. So you don't have any game breakers, and you can't win by committee. How are you going to win?
It's just
You
that
haven't
also
won in what, like a month and a half?
yeah, and Toronto also has like if you look at Toronto, they're such a well built team. I mean,
Exactly.
they're strikers, they're wingers, they're midfield. I mean, Small is fantastic. I mean, she thoroughly this is like I was seeing some runs in the first leg where she was just thoroughly dominating the midfield, and it's that's what the
Yep.
difference is making is that there's such a lack of clarity as to who plays what in the midfield and what they bring to the table. The only player that I think is very clear as to what their role is in the midfield is Charlotte Bibo. I think it's very defensive, very physical. But the rest of the players, they just all seem still trying to figure each other out, and it's we talked a lot about. We gave a lot of praise to Noemi Paquin. We gave a lot of praise to Megan Sauvé on the left side, but it's like the magic got lost when Paquin got injured, and they haven't been able to refine
Mm-hmm.
their form. And it's really like honestly, Elias, I want to say it, and I'm gonna say it like this: it's the second half of the season collapse. I want to call it a
Oh,
collapse because
absolutely,
it was a
absolutely. I
complete
mean,
collapse.
I think the collapse, it was very, like, it was definitely, they dropped off in the second half. I think the real collapse happened like after the month of August. It's not even when Latif Abdul left. It was after the month of August when everything really started to, like you said, right, when they clinched the playoffs.
Yeah, they
And,
took
and
the best.
there's difference between like taking your foot off the gas because you want to rest a little bit and just dropping your standards completely. And right now, it's not good. It's not good at all. And you know, we they've shown how good this roster is, how good this group is, how good this squad is. So there's no justifiable reason as to why across the board almost it's worse.
Yeah,
Right?
and
It's not like one or two players.
no,
Right? Of this starting 11 right now, based on the standard they set in the beginning of the season, in the first half of the season, except for Lucy Capadonna, who else, and Megan Sauvé, who else is playing at the same level?
nobody. And
Nobody. Nobody.
Even Charlotte Bibo's play has reduced. I said because I thought
She's
it was
shown her
because
age a little bit.
she was being played in the wrong position because it was very demanding physically for someone that
Yeah.
I think she's 35 years old. And again,
Yeah.
it's not because it's her. I think it's just a human in general that as you get to that age, it gets harder. And it's just a very demanding position that they were asking her to play. And as you mentioned earlier, Lies, it's almost like they dropped their level of play after they finished the playoffs, while every other team, including Toronto, elevated their play.
Yeah.
And just Rose FC has always been a step behind all of these teams, even the ones that didn't clinch the playoffs. They were always a step behind. So, look, I expected a fight today. We're only in the 17th minute. There's still that's the beauty of
Fighting with these
sport.
demons right now at this point. Jesus Christ.
There's a there's the beauty of sports. Sometimes can happen, but these are the kind of games of life where I want to see any
Yeah.
player on that field say, "This is why I'm playing here. This is why I deserve, to be a starter."
Hmm.
And even if it's scoring one goal or getting an assist, whatever it is, like show something because right now this
Yeah.
is literally win or go home, and right now you are losing and you are losing bad. So it's we obviously don't like to be negative in the show. We try to be as positive as we can, but it's been kind of hard for Rose FC because they, especially after, like
Yeah.
you mentioned, they raised the standard themselves. They put that on themselves, and now they've it's falling flat.
Like
And we
they have to have everyone up the field right now.
yeah,
There's too much space. They're letting Toronto play out of the back. They have to. It has to be like a dog with a bone at this point, and it's not. It's
yeah,
not. Who said it after the Calgary game? Right? They wanted it more. I think
yeah,
that's going to be the motto of the second half of the season. Is they were completely okay with just playing okay,
yeah.
and that's not going to cut it when everyone else is playing like their lives are at stake.
I just think this team needs a player, and
And
it's
ooh,
yeah, you saw that, huh?
that's
It,
very close. That was like that's half a step away from a penalty. So
yeah.
this could have turned into the actual postmortem episode real quick.
Let's just shut it down right now.
We're just gonna completely pivot. We'll have the game on the background and just run the postmortem at this point.
You know, and like you and I, the ball is round. We started the same way Rose FC started, completely unprepared. Completely
I was
unprepared.
prepared. I was
Technical
prepared. The
issues.
technical
All of,
difficulties were
we're not.
unforeseen,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but I had everything, and then I just didn't know how to
I'm
broadcast
like
it. But
Elias, Elias, Elias.
yeah, I think the fact that I did all of this in like 4 hours,
Yeah.
maybe not the best. Maybe not the best.
Oh
But
no!
hey,
Oh no! Not in the playoffs.
so
I'm
Andy, how
sorry.
was your day?
I'm not in the playoffs.
How was your day, Andy? What did you get
Duh.
up to?
I was looking forward to this.
Honestly, me
Wait,
too.
okay. So in all seriousness, look, this is just a free. You know, the weather. Our best defender, Capadonna, lets that get right through her. Karpenko, see, horrible reaction. I don't know what the hell she's doing. We've criticized Karpenko a lot in this show. I thought she picked up her game the last few
I don't think
weeks,
Capadonna touched it.
but Capadonna missed it. She completely
I
missed it,
think she
and
missed it. Yeah.
it's we talked about it. I think, can we call this episode collapse, because it's been a collapse. Look, we're down 4-0. Like, what are we even talking about right now? It's the 21st minute.
It's not looking good.
Either Coach Robert Rastotoyu completely changes the game plan right now and makes the team react, or he takes out another surprise hand and just takes out the players that are underperforming, because like this.
Yeah, but you're
Why
only
are
allowed
you
so
why are
many
you
substitutions
benching?
in a game, and
Look,
you can't make 11 subs.
no, one at a time. But no, I mean, in all seriousness, like
Yeah.
you're down 4-0. What are you gonna do? You're gonna run the same game plan? Is anybody gonna stand up? I mean, what are we doing?
Are you gonna beat your head against the wall and hope that something changes? Because it's not.
Hello, Emma. Thank you for joining us. We are here in this
That's
first
much more enthusiasm than what I'm feeling right now. But
Hi. Yeah, so guys, today I've been fighting a bad cold. I've been coughing my life out,
same
but I'm here for you. I'm here
twins.
for you guys, because I love doing this, and we're fucking sickos.
Can you believe I almost went to that final yesterday?
You almost went. Oh, you almost
I
went.
almost went. What a mess.
Been fighting that all weekend. It's been super fun, but we do it for the ball is round. We do it because we love this, and we've been doing it all season long, and we're gonna do it next season too.
Absolutely.
Obviously,
For the
super
love of the
excited
game.
to bring you guys stuff throughout the off season. There's gonna be plenty of things to come, but in the meantime, we're gonna watch this game because we said we would watch a game.
Damn it, we committed to it.
We'll watch it if we're down 10-0. We don't care. We're here to watch it and enjoy.
I
And
don't go
please,
if it's 10-0, I'm no. But
I guess I'll be the
speak
only
for
one
yourself.
saying
Speak
it.
for yourself.
I guess I'll be by
I'm
myself.
not gonna be on here if it's still nope.
No, but
You have fun, Andy.
but look, it's if you guys are with us now, don't hesitate to put your comments, whatever opinions you might have about Rose FC. There's an interactive show, so we love to hear what you guys think. We don't, like I said, we don't want to be too negative here. I think
Plus,
let's just talk about it,
relative
okay?
to all the soccer we've seen this year,
Yeah.
this is nowhere near the worst that we're watching. Let's be honest. Right? We've seen some far worse games from other Montreal professional
Yeah.
teams.
I
Right?
think, look,
Let's be
the
honest.
negativity is coming. I want to say this, Elias. The negativity is coming from a good place. Okay,
It's because the standard they set. You're absolutely
yeah,
right.
exactly. It's because of the standard they set, in the sense that, you went to Stade Boreal, you watched these girls play, and they just gave you so much excitement. They seem to
Yeah.
be a notch above everybody, and then a second half collapse where, Eli, they lost one game, they drew one game here and there, and you were like, okay, one off. They're gonna get back at it. Maybe they were missing this player. Maybe Robert Rostatoyu played around with this and that. But then it never picked back up, and you started getting.
No.
We started asking questions, right? We started
Yeah.
asking questions. We said, "Hey, does he need to switch? Like, are we seeing this? Are we crazy? Like, maybe he's just
But
waiting for
we,
the
we
playoffs."
we started saying it from the beginning of the season, though, Andy.
Yeah,
Remember, right? We said
yeah,
this level is very good, but it also looks like they're just more prepared than everybody else. Not that they're
yeah.
necessarily better. So what's going to happen when the other teams catch up?
People are gonna catch up. Yeah, the play, and that's what we're seeing right now. Toronto is
Yeah,
the team that's in really good form. Not just the starters, also the bench players are in very, very good form. And they're like I mentioned a little bit earlier in the show. They are talented in every position. You can tell
yeah,
whatever flaws they may have
yeah.
at right back, left back, center back, whatever flaws. There's other players to camouflage it, to make it look like, and the machine continues rolling, right? And that's where Roses FC is lacking right now, is that camouflaging each other's vulnerabilities. Like I mentioned, in that second goal of Capadonna, Capadonna made a mistake, but Karpenko wasn't there to camouflage that mistake. It's a collapse. So it's a little bit frustrating, but these are things that should have happened in week one. You don't want it to happen in the second leg of the playoffs when you are desperate for a goal.
Yeah.
So overall, if let's just say it. I know you said you don't want to talk too much about postmortem, but overall, if I had to say something about this season, super super fun, super exciting to see that this team can, this city can hold another professional team and bring that same excitement to Stade Boreal. But I'm sorry about that. But still leaves you wanting a lot more for 2026. Like they really really need to step it up.
Unfortunately, look now if they manage to get one in before halftime, then at least they can make this game competitive. They just they have to start applying more consistent
Oh
pressure
boy.
because they'll get the ball.
Uh, this is again a collapse, and it's a collapse of the defense. A third goal, guys. Toronto goes up on the third goal by, now we can see that the players are getting together. The 27th minute of the first half, the players are getting in the together in the middle. Clearly, something is not right. Something is not right. Either they underprepared, Toronto overprepared. There's a lack of communication. Something is seriously lacking with this team right now, and and I'm sorry to say this, but Toronto is having fun with Montreal right now. They're having fun.
They're not in the same league right now. This is they've been playing extremely defensively, and it's been three attacks, literally three attacks and three goals. So, um,
Yeah,
yeah,
did Okoronkwo score a hat trick? No,
yeah. Uh, is that an own goal? Do you think that's an own goal?
I don't know. The
Because
the
I mean it
screen
was
just said
on
that. It was.
target. No, I mean the second goal. I don't think that's an own goal. So yeah, I think that hat trick inside half an hour is not a great look.
Joey that says that the snow is coming, they will turn it around. Honestly, if that's what gets it, awesome, awesome. Yeah, 100%.
I oof, I don't know about that.
Look, again, it's we can analyze it play by play, but it's absolutely infuriating that they're getting slipped up this season right now.
Yeah, this team has had a bad end of the season for sure.
Mhm.
but the way that it's going right now is kind of an unfair, you know, point final on it. I think, because let's face it, like yes, a lot of changes need to be made. JJ Soccer Girl, it's on TSN. It's not on CBC Gem, and it's not on YouTube like some of the other games are. It is on TSN 3, I think.
But for some of you that don't have access to TSN, Elias and I are trying to, broadcast it as best as we can live to you.
Without
It's the
getting
29th
taken out for
minute.
copyright. But
Is the 29th minute. Toronto is up 3-0 Montreal, and they're just kicking butt right now. Toronto has a free kick coming. Hopefully nothing comes out of that. Montreal can defend it properly. And they managed to clear it. I'm trying to finish that sentence.
I'm gonna need. I think you're like 5 seconds ahead of me.
I'm sorry, Elias, but
How dare you?
but but the thing is, like, that's what I'm trying to say, right, Elias?
Oh, Ali has got booked too. Yeah.
Yeah. I have a question. Where Montreal's down 3-0 in this game. They're down 5-0 in the whole right now in this series. Elias, do you see anyone in that field, especially anyone wearing a captain's armband, such as Tiane Boychuk or Megan Sauvé, holding any of these girls accountable right now? Are any of them like cheering them on, like "Let's go, girls, we can still"? Do you see that? Do you see anybody pushing another player there? Because that's my biggest issue with this team. I've seen no
Yeah.
accountability from no one, even when they were down 2-0, 1-0 in regular season games. It was always like everybody would turn around and "Let's go," and
Yeah, it felt much more like a collective leadership than any individual specifically. I mean, like you mentioned, right? Lucy Capadonna is probably the most vocal player on the field. At any given moment, Megan Sauvé leads more by example than necessarily by outward
Jesus.
displays um, of leadership. But yeah, I think they need that kind of like force of nature that just like is capable of rallying the troops at any given moment.
Yeah, so those of you who are listening to us, Toronto just missed a wide open net. So they almost scored a fourth goal on Montreal. Elias, Montreal, I'm sorry, man. I wish I
This
was on
is
Robert Rossitoyo's ear, but he needs to make changes. Massive, either
like make a substitution right now. Like I
yeah,
don't care. You have
somebody
to
is
make a
clearly
substitution.
not in their game today. Somebody there is not in their game, and somebody needs to come in
And the
with a
crazy thing is, this is all on Capadona and Sauvé's side too. A
yeah,
lot of the problems have been on that side, which has been rock solid all season. Right,
yeah,
those two players have been, like we said, the most consistent players this year, and almost every single bit of danger. The first goal, the free kick that led to the second goal, not the third goal, and then every other subsequent chance has come on that right side.
yeah.
So
Look,
this
there's
is
a, a ro-
that's the biggest surprise for me, is that those two players are so vulnerable today.
a Rose FC, like you see, Karpenko can't clear it. A midfielder gets it. I mean, Toronto hasn't taken the foot off their pedal. They are everywhere. I mean, right now, it feels like it is 14 against 11 or 14 against 9 with Rosa. They are everywhere. The midfielder gets the ball, 3 Toronto players are on top of her, and she can't do anything. I mean, they are. I don't even know what word to put right now, but they have their head on a swivel right now. The Rose FC, they don't know where to turn or what to. That's why I said there either needs to be a major tactical change right now, where they go, I don't know, five in the back, because they're reeling. Rose FC is reeling, and at this point, I would want someone like Charlotte Bibo, who is so with the veteran of the team, to take leader and ownership of the team, and say, this is what we're gonna do. This is not working. Go here and there. Like, this
At
is
this point, but at the same point, does someone like Charlotte Bibo have to come off now? Because has she gotten the ball?
no. She's
Has she
been
had
quiet.
more than like 2 touches in half an hour? Because the whole point of putting Charlotte Bibo at the 10 now, because you have Chloe Minas and Ali Hassan like this double pivot, is to get her on the ball so she can, on the half turn, into space. But it's not happening. And not only is it not happening, it's not even like close to happening,
Yeah.
Zypher Sultan asking why Joy Smith isn't playing. Joy Smith had some injury difficulty
Or
at the halfway point of the season. She had a great start to the season too, and then Megan Sauvé kind of stepped back into left back
yeah.
and has been playing too well to be taken out of the starting 11. Honestly, this is saying this is her worst game of the season is kind of obvious because right now it's everyone's worst game of the season. Um, but Megan Sauvé has been, along with Lucy Capton, like we said earlier, the most consistent player this season. So it's not really a Jody Smith problem more so than it is Megan Sauvé just playing really, really well.
Yeah, and Jody Smith is not gonna be resolved right now because Toronto is not. I know we said that they're attacking a certain side, but the way they're getting to that side is by attacking the middle. Because right now,
Yeah.
Montreal can't connect two passes
Honestly,
together.
I wouldn't hate seeing Megan Sauvé be pushed into. If you want, speaking of Jody Smith, putting Jody Smith on and putting Megan Sauvé into the middle of the field, I've seen stupider things.
Yeah,
Right at
I
this
don't know.
point,
Whatever.
you've reached fuck it. Right? Let's be
Yeah,
honest. You've reached the point where you're like, you have to do something. And if he doesn't make a substitute in the first half, he'll definitely have at least Roberto will definitely have at least one, hopefully more than one substitute at halftime. But you've reached the point now where if you don't make any changes, you're also sending a message to your players that you're also giving up.
yeah.
That's the thing.
Is the 35th minute? Montreal is still down 3-0 in at BMO. Is it the BMO? Sorry, it's
No,
in,
it's not BMO Field. It's a turf
it's,
field.
it's
The finals at BMO Field, but I
in
don't know where.
Toronto. Yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, so they're down 3-0, and it's not it's a game that was delayed from yesterday because of the snow. As you guys can see, the snow has been cleared today. In summary, so far until the 35th minute, Toronto, as the scoreline says, has been thoroughly dominated. Has Rose FC have any shots on goal? I don't remember
No.
seeing any, but
No, they do not.
any shot that they've had has obviously come hasn't given anything. I felt like in the first game, Montreal at least showed a little bit more fight than what they're showing tonight.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
they
Absolutely.
it's just I don't know. It
They
just
could have won that game. They very easily could have won that game if
yeah
they'd been a bit more clinical, right? So
yeah. And has Shadim
big
Kang
big ifs,
at all?
but no, no, she's definitely not gone into any of those one-on-one situations she likes so much. So no, this is not good.
And now there's a Toronto player down. Actually, the one that scored the hat trick. Um,
Yeah, Oronko, sorry,
Okoronkwo. Yeah,
Okoronko.
she's down. So I mean, look,
This is also another issue, right? Turf already is a very nebulous thing to play on,
yeah,
especially for women's soccer. With this being this cold, you're basically playing on cement. The ball is bouncing like crazy and running, the stopping, the starting. It's like playing at that old Olympic Stadium turf on steroids. It is a horrible surface to play on. And just because it's not covered in snow doesn't mean it's not still super dangerous. And it looks like she got kicked or got twisted. I don't know, but she looks very uncomfortable.
yeah. It looks like she
Um,
collided with Lucy Capadana and
yeah.
on a kick there.
But again, playing on this turf is, I would have been surprised if this game ended and nobody got hurt.
All
Kind of
right.
looks like Marco Donadell a little bit, doesn't he?
Yeah, right. I thought the same thing.
With a hat on, kind of looks like Marco Donadell a little bit.
So they're actually TSN is showing the replay of all the goals, and yeah, it's just yeah, she did get a hat trick. That is a hat trick.
Oh, thanks. I wasn't feeling shitty enough.
That's a hat trick. I mean, look, you knew. I think everybody on that field, including Toronto and Montreal, both knew how good she is because she is
Oh,
a
I mean, is
monster.
she top scorer or she's like top two? I think
And look, Elias, if I hope, I
she's
really
third.
hope that
She's third goal scoring, right?
that I really hope that this injury is not as bad as it looks because she's really limping off the field right now.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is a huge loss for Toronto. I mean, a huge loss. Again, we mentioned it earlier. She's not the only piece Toronto has. Toronto has many pieces, but this is a big piece for her to not be in the field. And if she misses the rest of the playoffs, it's brutal for Toronto. But no, absolutely. Everybody on the field knew how like how good she was and what she could bring. And you allow her to I mean to score a hat trick in a matter of 20 minutes. I mean, what are we doing? Like you should have planned for this. You played them 3 times in a row. there's absolutely no explanation for having allowed it to happen. You either play the famous Marco Donadel man to man, or you
They don't have the work level right now to do that.
yeah. And look, we're heading into halftime in a few minutes. Um, Nigel, that tells us would have loved to see Toronto dethroned today. Wouldn't we have all? But
Honestly, I think Vancouver has a fantastic chance to do that, though, especially because this Toronto back line is not good. That's not true. This Toronto back line is not at 100%. They've been ravaged with injuries. I think this is an excellent chance for Vancouver, who they'll meet in the final again if everything stays the same. Which again, let's be honest here, Montreal's not scoring 5 goals.
look,
Just
I
nervous every
watched
time
that.
they get into the final third.
I
But
watched.
again, Vancouver has a very good chance at winning this.
Yeah. I watched the Ottawa Vancouver game, and Ottawa was down 2-1, and they actually fought
Mhm.
back, and it was one of those things that I was expecting from Rose FC, where they came out swinging. I mean, they weren't scoring all of them, but they
Immediately.
came out swinging, and they actually took Vancouver by shock. Obviously, Vancouver came out on the top on penalty kicks, but it was very, very close, and that's what I wanted from Rose FC. But it's the complete contrary. They came down 2-0, and they've been. I mean, when's the last time Rose FC scored? I'm actually curious. How long have they gone without scoring?
Oh, this is we're approaching like 2021 Series of Montreal. That was a
Oh, okay.
nightmare.
They scored on October 19th against Toronto, the 2-1.
They have 1 goal in the last 38 days,
And it was
39
Alites.
days,
And Toronto, in the meantime, has scored now.
a
Uh,
million.
they've scored in those 3 games 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 goals, 7-1, 7
7
to
to
1.
1 over 3 games. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's again, this is not luck, guys. I mean, this is pure talent. A well-trained team, a well-organized team. Props to the Toronto staff, because they clearly, dissected this Montreal team and figured out Robert Rostatoyu very early on. And Robert Rostatoyu hasn't found the winning formula against Toronto, because this is a very, very good team. And I'm not just talking about Rose FC. I'm talking about in general the NSL. I mean, you can see that
Yeah.
Toronto's at a different level than everybody else. So it's going to be interesting how they approach this offseason. There's a lot, I think, as we mentioned, in moments like this, Elias, you want to have that one player in the bench where you're like, okay, let's change the whole game up, and you are going to go there and rip things to pieces. But right now, we don't have that in the bench. So, I mean, it's tough to see. Montreal continues fighting here in the 41st minute, as they have one attacking chance here. You see that Chaineme has moved more to the center, where Elias would have loved to see her play more, and it falters to nothing. So once again,
Baby steps, Andy.
if Montreal can just find a
They just
way.
need to score 5 goals. It's okay.
I just want to know, is Larry Shank on the
I think she's on the bench.
bench? Because why are we starting, man? Anyways, it's I think Haley Whitaker has a much more um, attacking profile than Larry Shank, but Larry
I think
Shank did struggle against Toronto.
she's having a pretty decent game too. Haley Whitaker.
Yeah, but I mean
I mean, again, it's all relative, right?
yeah. I mean, usually her best job offensively would be to enable Cherim Kang to somehow find her offensive ability, but that hasn't been. And then JMAP that tells us 1 goal per 10 minutes. Allez!
You have to believe.
Hey man, if Robert Lewandowski scored 5 goals in a matter of 20 minutes, anything is possible.
9 minutes, man.
Anything is possible. I watched that game too.
God.
It was crazy. It was insanity. Ooh, Roses FC with a chance here. Oh, and Julia Lea is almost had
Finally,
a
a sign of
chance.
life, right?
Yeah, but I don't even know if that's gonna count as a shot on goal, because it didn't go to goal at all.
No.
But a chance is a chance. The
Yeah,
pass.
exactly. It's sustained pressure and it's a sign of life, right? So
Oh, there was
It's
offsides.
fine.
Never mind. That was offsides. It was not even a missed chance.
Honestly, it's just a sign of life.
Yeah, exactly. Which is
Right? It's
what we
just
mentioned
like
earlier.
any sign of intention, and that they're not like, I'm gonna do whatever,
Well,
right?
doing something like that, Elias, putting Julia, um, Leia's up there, like do something different, make something different,
It's
bring
a
a big.
set piece, right? You send your big strong bodies up there, and again, you don't have Stephanie Hill, who again, remember, Stephanie Hill is also your second leading scorer this season, right?
Jeez. Yeah,
That speaks to the lack of ability to consistently find the back of the net. When, with all due respect, the center back is your second leading scorer.
yeah. But why didn't she get started? I don't know. That part is still a big question to me.
That's very curious to me.
I'm not
Because she
sure
wasn't
why.
on the starting 11. She was on the starting 11 yesterday, so I don't think anything would have changed
No, she wasn't.
that whether or not she would have made it today. But I still don't understand, especially when you have someone like Okoronkwo, who's this physical force of nature, right?
Yeah,
And granted, like none of the goals were because she was stronger than anybody, but just the kind of mental space she takes up, and how taxing it is to just constantly having to be on someone that physically dominant.
yeah.
Having someone like Stephanie Hill in your back pocket is not a bad thing to have.
So it looks like Robert Russell told you that did kind of make a change here because we do see Chad Imcam playing a little bit higher alongside Tanya Boychuk. So she's no longer playing solely on the
Looks like,
right.
yeah, Haley Whitaker's almost playing like a right
Right
wing
wing
back
back,
instead of.
yeah, and we got the
Look,
three
but
back,
at this point, you have to throw caution to the wind, right?
yeah,
You've
and
reached
Megan
that
David,
point where you lose 6-0 or 5-0 on aggregate. It doesn't really matter.
yeah. Megan Sauvé is playing a center back position, Elias, incredibly, which is something we haven't seen this season, unless Coach Rosatoy is going to sub her out in halftime and put Stephanie Hill there to play the three back, and maybe make Megan Sauvé play more of a wing back instead.
I still think if someone's getting a step out, it has to be Charlotte Bilbao.
Who you put in?
She's just a non-factor. Whether you bring in Stephanie Hill, whether you bring in Jodie Smith, whoever you bring in, um, Charlotte Bilbao has not had any effect on this game whatsoever.
Yeah.
And again, it's not only her fault. Part of her role is to receive the ball, but
Crazy. That was Okoronkwo almost scored her fourth goal there, but a great stop by Anna Karpenko. Honestly, very, 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 very good stop by Anna Karpenko, which is something I never thought I'd say. But she, like as I mentioned earlier, she has really, really stepped up her game the past few games against Toronto.
I mean,
But
seven goals in 3 games. It's not great, but
I mean, yes, but some stops have given
some good stops. Even this game, right? There's 2 or 3 good stops as well. You're right.
there are still very head scratching moments for Karpenko. Um, But yeah, I mean, it's tough to see right now because it does look like any little chance that Toronto gets at the in front of the goal, they just seem to be, and then they just seem to find it easy. And honestly, the defenders look tired. Defenders look very,
Yeah,
very tired right now. They look
yeah.
like they look like they're playing alone in the back. Like they just like, here we go again. That's what their body language shows every time that
It's
they're going.
also what I feel like every time I see Toronto get the ball,
Yeah,
because at the same time, Chloe Minas and Ali Hess are not doing anything to stop the Toronto midfield from doing basically whatever they want.
I want Charlotte Bibo to play that Samuel Piet position. Go back all
She
the way
doesn't
to
have
the
the
center.
work rate. She doesn't have the work rate. She can't do it.
I don't care, man. Make her run
Best thing
just
you're gonna get out of her is Victor Wanyama. That's the best thing you're gonna get out of her.
yeah.
Right? That's the thing. She has a technical quality to do that, but she doesn't have the work rate to be Samuel Piet. She doesn't have anywhere near the work rate to be that. At least not for 60, 70, 80 minutes over the course of 25 games every year. It's not gonna happen. If you need that for half an hour, maybe. But again, we're delving a bit too far into post-mortem territory here, but
Well,
what
look,
else are we going to
they
talk
just
about?
they just blew the halftime whistle, and this has probably been the worst first half of the Montreal Roses all season long. Um, I don't
Yeah,
know. I mean, Rasatoyu goes into the bench now and goes into the locker room. Sorry, and what does he tell his players? What is there to say? Play for pride. You can still do it. who holds who accountable? Is it Russell Toy that makes the speech? Do you leave the players to talk to each other? What's going on? Like I think,
Look, at this point, you know, you have to just play for personal pride, right? For personal pride and team pride, because this is humiliation now. This is absolutely objectively a humiliation, especially when the top four have been so competitive all season, have been so close up until the last 2-3 weeks of the season when there started to be some real separation. All year, first and fourth were like at most 6 or 7 points apart from each other, right? So there's no way you can go out like this. You cannot allow this to happen. This is all based on your pride as a unit now, to say that okay, the first half of the season wasn't just a fluke, right? That's the only tactically, yeah, you can make some changes. You can bring some people, you move some players around, you could switch formations maybe, but the problem on the field is not tactical. Let's be honest here, right?
yeah.
It's not. I mean, maybe the tactics aren't great. Maybe they are. Maybe they're not. Problem is the players are playing so poorly that you can't even begin to analyze tactically, because everyone's just not playing well.
And now, if we look at the stats, I'm gonna pull up in the website here. You guys see my screen? I feel like I'm at work. You guys see my screen? Yes.
Yes, we see your screen, Andy.
So you can see that Montreal is dominating possession, 60%. Total shots, Toronto has 8, 5 on target with 8 goals. Montreal still has the most amount of passes, but I'm telling you, Elias, that doesn't make any sense because most of the passes are probably back passes. They're probably in the back, not in their own half. And sorry, in the opponent's half.
Center back to
Uh,
center back.
yeah, and corners taken 1, total crosses 3 to 5. Montreal has had more crosses, but probably to nobody. Also has had the most amount of clearances and yellow cards by 1. But I mean, look, if we can look, we can look at it player by player too, right? Obviously, these probably are not as well. They're not even updated. They are updated, but you can see right here that Megan Sauvé is the player with the most touches right now is Julia Leas. That's your center back. Okay, that's not where you want your touches to be. You want it more in the middle, so you can somebody that's spreading it around.
3
And
defenders. That's the
and
top.
Haley Whitaker also with the most touches, and Lucy Capadana. Chloe Minas Chloe Minas has had 38, which is to me is not good. I mean, it's not enough. Shallow Bibo 31, as you mentioned, she's barely involved. Chairin Cam has the least of the team, and as mentioned, Tani Boychuk and Chairin Cam haven't touched the ball that much today. Ali Hess is also the midfield, so they need to get these players more involved.
They're
I mean,
they're not getting on the ball enough, not at all, and it's terrible.
yeah, and
It's
I'm not gonna
that's
say
the biggest problem right now. It's not sustainable. We talked about it, right? Like at the end there, we saw 2 attacks back to back, and that was the most attacking that they've done all game. It's like, oh my god, it was sustained.
yeah.
But like, let's be honest here, right? Like, it's, the bar for this game at least is in the toilet. So I think now it's just about you know
Yeah, it's
how
it.
how do you motivate a team like this, other than don't go out there and get embarrassed.
It's about at this point you have to play the half of your life. I mean, you have to play more perfect. Every pass has to have a better intention. Every shot needs to be there just needs to be more accountability between each position. And it's if the speech is the same this half as it was the last half, then they're going to be in a lot of trouble, this team. And I really hope that the score stays 3-0,
I
or
mean, I
that
hope Montreal scores.
Montreal can score some 1 or 2 goals. I don't care. Show some fight, Elias. That's all I
Yeah,
want. Show some fight. Show we're not going to go down like this. We deserve better. We've made it all the way here.
yeah.
If not, you would have already been home. But you did better, and you can see that at least in Toronto, their touches are a little bit, more even. You see the person with the most touches is Emma Reagan. I believe she's an attacker. I don't know. I don't follow Toronto that much, but
She's a midfielder.
yeah. And Esther Okoronkwo with 32. They're leading the team with touches, which goes to show where the ball is. So that's a problem to me. And then And look, she's also had a 4 tackles, so that means that shows how defensive they're being up front, up
Yeah.
in she's honestly the MVP right now of this game. Besides the goals, everything else she's doing around the outside of the ball, it's off ball, it's incredible. But yeah, it's just been a very evenly distributed game for Toronto, and I think at this point, if Montreal wants any shot at this game, they need to know how you know. And Dave saying that it's only 5. Y'all got this. Thanks, hallelujah, Dave. Uh,
Hallelujah is right, man. That's I don't know.
but
It's more goals than they've scored all season, bar one game.
yeah,
So
look, it's frustrating. I think it's frustrating. I think the team must be frustrated too that they probably thought that they probably didn't plan for this kind of result or this kind of game. But the reality is that we're here now. They're down 3-0. Toronto can probably smell victory, and they might even make some subs, Elias. Honestly, why not? They might make some subs in halftime and say, you know what, guys, we're
well,
good.
I don't think Esther Okoronkwo is should play another minute,
No.
right? Even if it was really just a nothing, little knock and she's fine, why risk it? Your team is already ravaged by injuries. Sub them out.
Yeah.
Let some other players get some minutes, also maybe prove themselves, but yeah, and Zay for Watchalong, Roses struggle to come from behind. They've won one game and tied one season, while trailing. You're 100% right. Again, this team has not won games by attacking. They've won one game where they scored more than 3 goals, I think. Right? That's not the way this team plays. That's not what this team is good at least not with the current roster. Right? If Latifa Abdu's on the field, then yeah, she could pop off for 2 goals in 5 minutes because she's done it before and that's just something she could do. But right now, usually they win by committee. They win because they get 1 or 2 goals after like 5 or 6 chances, and then they just shut down the rest of the game. But that's you can't do that. So no, I think this is as finished as any tie is. But that's what you play for now is personal and team pride. That's the only thing.
Elias, I have a question for you.
Uh-oh.
Since the last second half of the season, have have you seen these girls have fun playing? Do they look like they're having fun out there? Does this look like a team that is saying like I'm enjoying my football right now, I want more of it? Or does it look like a team that's I'm not sure what I'm doing here. I'm not sure what we're supposed to do here. What do you think? Or am I reading it wrong?
Look, morale's been kind of down because when you don't win a game in a month and a half, morale is going to be down. That's just inevitable, right?
Yeah, but it happens to
Um,
every team. That happens to every team. But they need
yeah,
to
but
find
it's
it
it's
within
diff-
them.
it's different when you were first place a month ago and now you're fourth place and you can't score a goal and your best player leaves the way that she did and everything around it was so murky and so the vibes have been off for a while, right? So that's another thing I think that, yeah, this offseason when they think about what they should do from a team identity and a tactical perspective, they also need to look at a team morale and a team cohesiveness thing. Because I'm sure that, in the we don't know in the locker room and training what the energy is and how the players are interacting. But you have to kind of take into account that right now the vibes are in the toilet and the morale is in the toilet. So is that a coaching management problem? Is that uh, you know a leadership problem? Is that a team composition problem? It's probably a bit of all, but it's definitely something that needs to be addressed the
I
second the
think,
offseason is
yeah.
done.
It's about the speeches too, right? What is being said in the locker room? Is what Robert Russell told you saying enough to fire up the
Is it
girls
resonating?
to come out and fight for this team, or is it very much like, all right, let's do the kumbaya circle, everybody's okay, like, are we? As you said, is it resonating? His message is his message really being understood? I mean, To me, it looks like right now, like I mentioned, there's no accountability. Everybody's kind of scared to tell the other person that they did the wrong thing in the game, and that's not okay.
Yeah.
Elias, these are professional soccer players. They are
Yeah.
professional soccer players, and they will make mistakes. But you still have to be just like in any job. It's not just because you're a soccer player that you have it different.
Yeah.
You
No,
just like in any
you're a
job,
professional athlete. You have expectations.
you do wrong, and you can call out somebody who made mistakes. And I just
Yeah.
don't think they have that person in the team that has like, you know, I don't know, the I don't want to say the ability, but you know, can maybe tell the player straight up in their face, you are not performing up to your standard. And you need to be better. And that's what this team needs. Guys, I think we've been on with you guys for a little bit. Elias, I think we need a little 5 minute break. We're gonna play our hat, and then you guys are gonna hear our music, our little music for about 5 minutes, and then we'll be back. We'll be back with you guys, and just right after our word from our sponsor. Hello, the Ball is Rounders. This show is sponsored by AR Design. I can tell you that in my case, as you can see in my background, I need some change. This is why I reached out to, wait, I mean, my wife reached out to Allison from AR Designs to bring some change in my space. You can't see it now, but over the next few weeks, this room is about to get a little funky with the way it looks. I thought Allison will come to my place and turn the place upside down right away. But before changing anything, she made sure to really understand what my vision was for our place and what budget we were working for. And based on that, she gave us some advice and some ideas as to what our place could look like in the future. And that's when we knew that we had reached out to the right person. Like a soccer team working together for the perfect goal, AR Interior Design coordinates every detail of your interior design project so your home comes together beautifully. From concept to final touches, Allison makes sure every element works in harmony. Visit ardesign.ca today to see her latest interior design project, or follow the links that you see below me on her Instagram, email, or the website, or you can just find the links on the YouTube description. Thank you, Allison. Thank you, AR Design. All right, so we'll be back, Elias. We're just gonna turn off our mic and videos, and we'll be back in 5 minutes for you guys. Okay?
Absolutely. We are back right in time for second half kickoff. And let's see if you could already tell that the snow is starting to have an effect on the field. Every single time the ball rolls, it kicks up a little spray of snow. That means it's only going to get more chaotic. Wonderful.
Yeah, we're back. We're back. And sorry, guys, but we took a little bit of a break there. But yeah, let's see. Have we had any substitutions made at halftime? I didn't see any, unless you saw some.
Didn't see any on the broadcast, but I could be mistaken.
In any case, let's just hope that. So once again, right now we see that Toronto's still dominating the ball. They're still playing in Montreal's half.
I don't see any changes from Montreal, at least not yet.
It looks like, it looks like Charles Bibo continues playing that 10 position. I see that Tanya Boychuk is carrying the our captain's armbands instead of Megan Sauvé.
I'm pretty sure Megan Sauvé had it at some point.
Did
Am
she?
I crazy?
What I want to see is also want to see if Montreal starts playing maybe a little bit quicker, because I know they like to build from the back, but sometimes that slows down the game. So I really am curious to see if they're going to be playing a quicker style.
No, Tanya Boychuk had the armband all game.
Okay. Anyways, they're co-captains, so one or the other.
Yeah.
They're going to wear the captain's armband. But no, it looks like Montreal's still building from the back. I mean, it's okay. It's been kind of their trademark style the whole season.
For better or for worse, honestly.
Tanya Boychuk just looks a little bit slower than we're used to seeing her throughout the season. I mean, I don't know what kind of injury she had. I don't know if they rushed her back to play for the playoff time, but
it's entirely possible.
She's just seems so much. She's been one of those players that's we've just seen kind of a collapse from her in the second half of the season, where, yeah, I think she scored 1 or 2 goals here, but it was obviously performances where Montreal completely obliterated the other team. But beyond that, I mean, it's just she's probably been one of the more underperformers. Is it all her fault? Absolutely not. There's been a lot of pieces around her also that haven't been performing up to their potential. But it just goes to show it's tough to watch right now. Yeah, I mean, what substitutions are you gonna make? Even Toronto hasn't made any changes now. So we talked about Toronto possibly making some changes, maybe because they have no reason to play play their players anymore in a game that's obviously over at this point. But maybe they're gonna wait a little bit later in the game just to make sure.
But see, if you're Toronto, why are you waiting so long? If you're Montreal, both teams have no reason to be waiting so long to make substitutions for very different reasons. Montreal, you're throwing anything that you can, right? But Toronto, you should be resting people like Marigan, people like Hunter and Okoronkwo, people like your back line is relatively rotated. But besides that, you need some of these crucial players. They get hurt right now.
Yeah.
Right. Okoronkwo already went down once. And again, it was probably just a nothing hit. But on this field, in this weather, anything can happen. I feel like you're unnecessarily playing with fire.
And now Tanya Boychuk gets booked because of a foul. So obviously frustration starting to mount for the team.
It's not a yellow card.
But it's just you're seeing it, Elias,
that's not a yellow.
I mean, let's not talk about refereeing in the NSL because
we could have a whole episode just for that.
It's been a rough season to watch at times, but I mean, it's like this is what I want to see. I talked about it after the first goal, after the first Toronto goal. You want to see how Montreal reacts. So far, they've given us nothing about a reaction.
I wouldn't be that upset if somebody decided to just clatter into a Toronto player.
Yeah.
Like, show me something. If you're not going to show it on the field, show me some emotion.
That's what I said at the halftime, right? I said, I just don't go down 3-0 and play soft like this. Like, go down fighting, man. Like, go down fighting. Show some will. Show it for the people of Montreal, because you guys, this team has shown that they represent the Montreal people, and the Montreal people have shown up for them game after game. And it's just right now, it just doesn't feel like they're fighting. It feels like they're kind of again waiting for the play to develop.
Shot on target. Let's
Yeah,
go.
and guess who shot it? No, me
I have no
Paquin.
idea. Oh, was
No, me
it?
Pa-
Yeah.
yeah.
The
Yeah.
snow's coming down. I'm just starting to
Yeah.
see that maybe he's holding out for the snow to get so bad that they blend in to the snow, which could
Yeah.
be if they pull this off.
That could have worked yesterday, not today. Yesterday would have been better.
Actually, I don't know. I don't know if you saw any U Sports. The national championships were happening for men's and women's university soccer. Um, it was York against UBC in the final, and
Okay.
of course, UBC all white kids. Disaster. They blended into the snow. It was a mess.
That's crazy.
I mean, it wasn't the only. Ooh, that was rough. It wasn't the only mess because the reffing was atrocious, like horrifying. But yeah, I don't know, just all around horribly run. See, this is the thing. If you're Toronto now, you're seeing people go down, stuff like this. Get
Take
your
the hint.
get your
It
key
literally
players off
happened.
the field, man.
It
What are we
literally
doing?
happened in front of your bench.
Literally, like they're sending you a message like, get your key players off the field
Yeah.
before something bad happens to them.
Yeah. I don't. Like I said, we don't follow AFC Toronto, and we don't know how strong their bench is. But so far, we've played three
I mean,
games.
we know their defensive bench is good because it's a completely brand new back line, and they have basically shrugged off everything Montreal sends.
Yeah.
So they can't. At least defensively, their depth is good.
Well, it's so hard for me to say if Toronto's defense is good or bad, honestly, because Montreal hasn't really tested them. I mean, we just saw Noemi
One goal
Paquin.
in 7 games, you know.
Yeah, I mean, Noemi Paquin just had a shot on goal, and it was so far. I mean, it's tough to say if it's because Noemi Paquin is good or their defense is not good. I mean, it's it's not like they've had 20 chances to show it. So right now, the way I see it, Montreal's playing in their own half. They have had trouble moving the ball past the midway line, and yeah, it's tough to see. And for some reason, the NSL decides to focus on the coach in the middle of a play, which is great stuff. Great,
TV and just
because that's what we want to see. We want to see the coach. But yeah, thank you guys. Thank all of you for joining us tonight for this watch party. This is the first time the Ball is Round does this. We hope you guys are enjoying the experience. If you guys have any feedback, wanna give, we're having so much fun. And if you guys have any feedback, even if you're a Toronto fan, you guys can give it to us and give us your opinion. And yeah, we'll discuss it here in the show, where we're trying our best to keep it as positive as we can, even though Montreal's team is down 3-0, and clearly right now it's looking very, very, I don't know, glum. I don't know what the word is for it, but it's not looking good. So we're here. We'll be here. And yeah, it's just stuff to watch, because I know, Elias, you told me that maybe your stream is a little bit more behind than mine, but it just seems like their attack is not working right now. Nothing is clicking out of it.
Oh.
I want to see Robert Russell show some emotion on that sideline, man. Like yell at somebody,
yeah,
rip somebody's head out, man. Just do something. Like somebody needs to show some emotion. You guys are down 5-0, and you are playing like you're up 5-0. Like this is not possible to me right now. Like it's Toronto looks like a team that wants this point more right now.
Oh, yeah, but there's also a Toronto team that's just so much more confident in their abilities, right? In all three phases of play, they're just so much more comfortable. And this is also, I mean, obviously much better form. Okay, that's finally, breaking some lines. Play breaks down, but breaking some lines, and
yeah,
immediately goes the other way.
It looks like Chadim Kang. Oh man, it looks like Chadim Kang is playing more of that 10 position, as we mentioned earlier. She's not playing that right winger position, and I mean, it's interesting to see her there, Lice. I mean, you've called it. You've called it.
Yeah, and again, having her there now as a makeshift 10 is not really gonna do anything. Maybe not, at least not sustainably, but I do genuinely think that's where you're going to get the most out of her, especially if Charlotte Bilbao takes a step back, which I think, you know, after this year she might, because let's face it, her production has dropped, probably had the steepest drop off
Yeah, but
of
I
anyone
think
this
also
year.
Robert Russell Toyu demands so much from his midfielders, and it's
That's
just
another
not.
reason why, right? At 35, you
Yeah.
can't do that, right?
But it
If she
also
wants to
goes.
start one every 2 or 3 games and then be a sub for the rest, that's the thing. But Jerem Kang is 20, what, 26, 27, right?
Yeah,
She's much more physically, she can handle that kind of workload.
but it goes also with recruiting, right? Something along the way when they were first putting this team together. I mean, it must have been also falls on the shoulders of Marinette Pichon,
Yeah.
where she maybe put some pieces that thought were going to work out a certain way, and they finally didn't end up working that way. And we're seeing the result now because you just have a bunch of different positions everywhere. So it's going to be interesting how they attack this off season. See who comes back, who doesn't come back, how this how do they maybe see 2026, right, as a team.
Yeah. I
Do
think the
they?
biggest thing that I'd love to know her thoughts on is Latifa Abdul, right? Because she was brought in as someone who's going to be very important, who turned out to be very important. And all of a sudden, you're kind of left in the middle of the season without a real plan for your go-to striker, your go-to goal scorer. And who knows how the season would have played out if she would have stuck around. But again, is that a mistake in profiling? Is that a mistake in character? In considering the character of a player, or how she would gel with the rest of the group. Like that's one thing I'd like to know from her, because to start to play the way that she played, and then to just on a dime really kind of ask to leave is something that could that have been anticipated?
Yeah. Look, I mean, Montreal's struggling in all facets of the game right now, and it's tough to see. You want to see more, but going back to Latif Abdul, that's a profile that's gonna pretty much define mid-season, and what we talked about, the collapse, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we talked about the how it changed after clinching the playoffs, but also Latif Abdul had a humongous effect on the team, and it seemed like Tanya Boychuk never found any help up front, and she also, her performance lowered a lot more.
Yeah.
Um, you had to wonder if that has to do with Latif Abdul. Like, what happened with Latif Abdul? I mean, she would, obviously not everything is seen in the field. You see people happy, and they used to have. Elias, I don't know if you remember. It feels like ages ago now, but every time they would score a goal, they had like little dances. Like they seem to have a kind of swag about them that
Mm-hmm.
they just always seem to be celebrating with each other as a team, and that's kind of gone away. It's gone away with the fact that they also don't score goals anymore,
Yeah,
or
that's
very little. But now it's kind of like, okay, well, we're down 3-0. Well, what's the point of celebrating a goal at this point? So it's tough to watch. I think Latif Abdul was a very talented player. I'm sure it came from both sides. Maybe the club wanted something else from their player, and she wanted something else from their coach or the club. And so it's yeah, it's something that's going to be a big question mark, and it's gonna be something that it's gonna be hard to ignore whether it affected the 2026 season, the 2025 season or not. At this
yeah,
point, it does feel like it did.
absolutely.
And it looks like Montreal is trying to put some pieces together now. It looks like they're trying to build some momentum. They're playing very high up in the field, and Toronto's kind
That's
of
how they should have started the game. Really, they
Toronto's
let
also
themselves get suffocated instead of the other way around, which is
yeah.
extremely counterintuitive. But hey, that was an hour ago.
And you can tell that Toronto right now is taking that approach of like, look, guys, just we'll play safe, and we'll just not make a disaster happen. Let's just let Montreal do their thing. I don't think Toronto feels too threatened by Montreal right now. They don't seem that threatened right now.
But the thing is, you haven't given them a reason to feel threatened, right? This is the
Yeah,
second shot that Montreal has on target, and they've both been from 35 yards out.
yeah.
So what have you at the same time? Yeah, you wanna make them feel threatened, but what have you done over the course of 60 minutes now?
Yeah.
to make a team feel any kind of, vulnerability or danger. That back line literally just backed off and said, "Go, I dare you." And she did
Yeah.
it. I was like, okay, thanks.
I
You
see
know?
that, and even Tanya Boychuk has completely disappeared out of this game. I mean, I don't want to say to sub her out, but give her some help. I don't put a Claremont yard up there. I don't know, man. Do something because we're at the 60th minute. Montreal's still down 3-0. Toronto has had their chances. I think Montreal keeps getting lucky with the offsides that Toronto keeps picking up because this game would have been 7-0 if not. You laughed at me at the beginning of the show, Eliza, and I said 10-0, but it was getting awfully
That's,
close. But
see, that's a
close.
great step, though. That's a fantastic step that they step together in unison, right at the limit. That's a great offside trap. Um, that wasn't actually offside.
Yep, it wasn't actually. It
No,
wasn't at
she was
all.
onside, so I don't know what.
Yeah.
Forget it. But yeah, that's again, that's officiating. But we're not going to talk about that. Yeah, again, you're getting see that stuff like that. I don't mind because it means you're pressing higher up the pitch. It means you're trying something. Fine, but I'd much rather that than let them run at you 45 times and just kind of force you back because no, that you're still losing.
Elijah Lobibo just got beat 1v1. Like, you have to sub her out, man. It's the 60th minute. She is clearly not doing well in this game. It's not doesn't fit her play.
No,
Yeah, and you're clearly seeing that they're trying to go more through. And now the subs are coming in as I talked about it. You can see that Stephanie Hill is lined up. I missed the other sub there.
see, looks like Mognard and I didn't see who the third one was, but yeah, I mean, look, these are long overdue. These are like half an hour too late, right?
Yeah.
But you
And as
know,
two Toronto players come off as well, there's I see two subs there. So it's actually going to be
let's see.
two subs for now.
Oh, two,
But
yeah. So it's just Hill and Mognard.
yeah, I don't know who
I think Charlotte Bidbo's coming out.
she has to, huh?
She has to. She has to
She
come out. She hasn't done anything this game. It says, yeah, like you said, right? It's not her game. The game is too quick, and the game is too north south for her to really have an impact on it. So there's no point in extending it. Again, I thought that she should have come out before halftime
Yeah.
because you're losing 3-0. You do something, anything, right? Don't just sit there and wait for halftime. So, he's lucky they didn't go down at half. They didn't go into halftime down more than 3-0.
Yeah.
So, this is again,
You know what's also going on
unfortunate,
is
but
that I mentioned earlier, like a Roses FC player gets the ball, and there's like three Toronto defenders at that. This Roses FC needs to play short passes, like just build like
and again, like they get broken down so easily.
yeah,
Like they lose the ball in the middle of the field, they're
they're
half a
out.
second too late, and then Toronto with 2 or 3 passes, and they manage to get through presses and through break lines so efficiently, and they genuinely look like they're playing in different leagues right now.
Yeah. No, I think I'm sorry. I'm going to grade this game an F for Robert Rossitoyu. A lack of adaptation. Yeah, we can pinpoint profiles. Each
Everyone's
player
getting an
did
F,
this.
and
Each
let's be
player did
honest
that.
here, everyone's getting an F.
Yeah. No, but it starts from the coach. I feel like the
Yeah,
coach
no,
did
I
not
agree with you 100%.
did not prepare them for this game. The
Yeah,
staff did not prepare them for this game. Whatever they saw on tape, whatever they saw in the previous games, clearly nothing was done about it. If they even watched tape at this
poor
point in life,
defending.
I'm just gonna be harsh because I don't care. But it feels like they didn't watch tape. It feels like they just said, okay, well, we might as well
My
keep playing
my
our
problem
style.
is that, yeah, I mean, like it feels like maybe that's the case, but again, you played 2 full games against this team over the last 3 weeks. So there should be some kind of familiarity. My problem is not a tactical one, at least not at the start. The first half hour of this game, my problem wasn't the tactics. My problem was nobody showed up to play. Not a single person. All 11 of them were not ready to play at the level required to even draw this game, let alone win it. Right? So again, the F for Robert Rosatoyu comes in the lack of adaptation after that half hour.
Yeah.
Because you're a coach. You're allowed to make changes in the first half. Yeah, I don't care. Why, if you want to keep yourselves for the 60th minute, you're down 3-0. This is not going to magically turn on its head, right? This isn't a Disney movie where through the power of friendship everything is possible. No, you have to do something,
Yeah.
right? Lucy Capadona is coming off.
Mhm.
I don't know why,
She
right?
hasn't had her best game, but she's
She
not
hasn't
the
had her
one.
best game, but that's not the kind of change you make, right? Now, Esther Okoronkwo coming off, that's a change you make. That change was 20 minutes too late, right? Let's be honest here. Montreal was not mounting a 5-goal comeback. God, they're showing a replay of like an hour ago and the grass is green. It's crazy. But
That must have been last week. No, but
but
you're right,
that
absolutely. Like, but I mean, Lucy Capadonna has been your MVP of the season, in my opinion.
yeah,
But
I
like,
think that they're very fair.
I don't think it's fair to. I don't know, man. Give her a shot. Again, hasn't been her best game, but nobody around her has helped her out. They've really put the game on her, and I don't know. I don't know, Elias. You'll correct me if I'm wrong, but at the
Who was the second
66th
sub
minute,
for? Because Charlotte Bibo still on the field. Oh, she's just Boychuk straight swap from Manyar. Oh no, Paquin. Where's Boychuk moved to the left and Manyar is up top now. So Charlotte Bibo is still on the field for some reason. That completely escapes me. But
and now
are
we're
you in
just
shock
trying.
or?
I'm just. I was gonna ask you, Elias. Did Robert Rossatoyu throw in the towel in the 67th minute?
He threw in the towel by not making a halftime substitution.
Hmm.
Like if you don't like, look, you can have your philosophy. You don't change making these substitutions at the half hour mark. That's fine because half hour is drastic, right? If you're losing 3-0 in an elimination game, it is drastic. Like now is the time to do it, but you don't. Fine, you don't make them at halftime. It's because you gave up. It's you said go out there and try and not lose 4-0. That's basically what the halftime team talk
That's
was. At
crazy.
least that's the impression I'm getting, right?
Yeah.
Because there's no conceivable way you send the exact same team out for the second half and expect them to go out there and score 5 goals. That's just that's lunacy.
Yeah, doing the same thing over and over again, even though it keeps giving you the same results. Yeah, I know.
Exactly. Right.
It's
So the only thing I can now extrapolate from this is that he went out there and he said, just don't lose 4-0. But
I don't
even
know.
then, you'd make a defensive substitution. Right? That's the
It's
thing. If he wanted to go out there and not lose by even more, then he would have made a substitution and then brought in Hill and played a 5-back or something. No, he just did the same thing. So he probably, like at this point, did you even give a team talk at halftime?
Look, Elias, in football, in American football, there's the 50-50 plays that we call it, right? And I'm sure in soccer, there's the 50-50 plays as well, where it's just you against me. Whoever wants it more is going to get it.
Yeah.
And Toronto has won. And those are, by the way, those are stats that are not in the stats sheet. They're not there, the 50-50 calls. Nobody labels it 50-50 calls, right? But, sorry, ball. But right now, Toronto has been all over those 50-50 balls. Like they've been wanting it more faster, quicker to react, and quicker to read what's going on. And it's cost Montreal this series. Honestly, it's not just tonight.
Yeah.
You look at Robert Rossatoyu now in the sideline, and he just looks. I don't want to say dejected, but he looks like I don't
It's a
know.
good
He
word.
doesn't even look angry. Like that's what I was saying. Like Robert, show us something. Show us anger. Show us fire. Show us like you're angry at your team because your team failed you today. We can also say you failed your team, but your team failed you today. Whatever the hell you guys
But
talked about,
both those statements are correct, right? The team failed him, and then he in turn failed the team by not doing anything about it. Both statements are true.
so show something, and if it's not Robert Rossatoyu, some of the like Rose FC players show something on the field. I want to see some yelling. I want to see some pushing and shoving. Like show that you actually care, that you are actually losing 5-0. Don't just lose the ball after you ran 2-3 yards. Like it's to me it's getting a little bit silly that they're still playing like we're in the middle of the season, and after this we're gonna have a big kumbaya circle and everything's gonna be fine. You're in the playoffs, man. Like I don't know if they need this playoff experience to come back next year stronger, but it's kind of sad to watch right now, Elias. You know how They're
100%.
just letting every opportunity just go right in front of them, and Toronto still looks like they're one step ahead of Montreal, even though they're up 3-0. So it's as you mentioned. I don't know if the tactic at halftime, Robert said, guys, just don't lose more than 3-0, because that's what it looks like. They're just looking not to make any more mistakes, and if they can get a goal, then good for you. Like they're give me some urgency, give me some desperation to want to score goals. Don't And that doesn't mean shoot every ball at third. Find the right opportunity for it too. But right now, it's a little bit frustrating. They even got an extra day because of snow day, Elias. So it's
Oh,
not
it's definitely not a rest issue. That's for sure.
yeah.
It's not
And
even a fitness issue, except for Larashenk, who's not available.
yeah, I believe
That's it.
even Toronto might have more injuries right now than
Toronto has way. This entire back line has been rotated.
yeah.
The
They've had their
entire
own injuries.
defense. I mean, this is ridiculous.
I actually spoke to Claire Magnard in the debut of the film, The Pitch,
Mhm.
and she was actually one of the stories that was in the movie that was very interesting, because she actually came in as a tryout, right, for the Roses FC when they held
Yeah.
tryouts, and she's one of the only ones. I don't know if the only one or one of the only ones that made it, but she was telling me, she was sharing a story that wasn't shown in the movie. She's like, I'm not sure if they showed this in the movie, but apparently she took part in 2 tryouts for Roses FC. Every player had one, but she
The fact that
participated in two.
the fact that Steph Hill didn't start this game is insane to me.
That Monyard.
Steph Hill.
Oh yeah, yeah, random, but yeah, Claire Magnard, right?
Yeah.
So she told me that she, by a clerical error, she received two emails, and so she was part of 2 tryouts, which was really cool. And then eventually they got to see more tape of her. But yes, when I actually interviewed Stephanie Hill during that same premiere lives, I consider myself a tall guy, but
She's
I
six
stood
feet
in
tall.
front of her, and she made
She's
me
she's
feel like a little man. I was like,
she's like
whoa.
6'1". She's like 6'1". She's a tall woman. Yeah.
And she looks down at me and she's like, "Yeah, I'm tall." I was like, "Yeah, yeah, I feel it right now." But it was
She
it's
just go to my high school. So
uh she's an
yeah, she went to high school with my brother.
intimidating figure. I can tell you that much. I can only imagine how the players see her on the pitch, but
Oh my
it blows
god.
my mind. Unless there's an injury that wasn't told, we weren't told about. There's absolutely no reason why she shouldn't have started this
No,
game.
absolutely not. Like
And has she?
she's been on the field for what, like 5 minutes now, and she's already made as many tackles as any other player on the team. Like she's made like
Insane,
3 or 4 tackles already. This
insane.
is
Okay, so far Montreal still down 3-0 at the 73rd minute. I know we've been talking a lot about the game. Been tough to watch. Montreal is still seems to be passing it a lot more in their back line, not really attacking in the front. Has had some chances, but all those chances have faltered for one reason or the other. Um, it's hard to pinpoint what exactly has gone wrong, as Montreal has an opportunity here, and they scored the first goal
there we
of
go.
the series. Tanya Boychuk scores on the 74th minute.
Ooh, that was
That was a 50-50 ball that I talked about, guys. 50-50
that
ball
was that looked like it was handball
by Tanya.
by Boychuk.
Hmm.
Hold on, let me see that. See the replay. Oh no, it was her body. That's fine.
Regardless, that was the 50-50 ball that I was talking
Yeah, but
about, right?
that's yeah.
Now you
This is
take
the
out.
only time they put pressure on the back line. It took them 75 minutes.
No, now they take out people. See, these are the subs that I never understand, because I don't like Laurie Thibault in this kind of situation. I don't. I've watched her game after game, try to study what she brings. Um, this to me, this substitution, lies. I'm really, really sorry to say right now. This substitution right now makes it feel like they're throwing in the towel, because
Indeed,
these are
it's
not your game
5-1.
changers. These are not your game
But
changers.
that's also another problem, right? Off the bench, they don't have a game changer. They don't have one.
Yeah.
Who off the bench do you look at and go, if I put you on, instantly, I know you're going to have an effect?
In the front they don't have anybody, but I really do like what Olivia Mbala brings. But she's a defender.
Absolutely.
She's
I'm talking about going forward now. You're 100% right.
yeah,
Look, I think we agreed about this for a while now. The defensive depth is probably the only thing that doesn't need to be touched.
yeah.
Right? Yeah, they need to bring in another right back, but in terms of center backs and left backs, they've got plenty. They're fine. Midfield and attack is where it's very thin.
Look, let's enjoy the positive. Okay, Montreal just scored a goal against Toronto. Obviously, too little, too late, but it's good to see, right? It's good to
Yeah.
see. Obviously, we would love to be jumping up and down right now if this would have happened in the first minute. This is the kind of play you would have wanted to see in the first minute. Why? Because you're punching Toronto in the mouth right away.
From
You're letting
minute
them
one.
you're letting them know we're here. We're going to win those 50-50 battles. But that's not what you did. You
Yeah.
waited until the 75th minute to really win. And at this point, Toronto, again, it's okay if they take their foot off the pedal. They're not going to give up 4 goals in a matter of 20 minutes or whatever. They played a very good series against Montreal. Almost, I'm afraid to say it, but almost a perfect
No,
series against
you're
Montreal.
100% right. Everything
They,
about this, right? Even from game one, they came out right away. They were the ones that were dictating everything. They didn't let Montreal get in front of their home crowd. They didn't let them grow into the game right away. Minute what? 5, 8, first goal.
yeah.
They played this psychologically and obviously like tactically perfect.
Do you think that because this is a new team, because these girls are just getting to know this league, do you think that they understood the importance of the playoffs in the NSL? Do you think they understood what it meant to raise your level of play to the level of playoffs?
There's too many Canadians on this team for that not to be the case. There's too many Canadians and there's too many Montrealers on this team for them to be like, oh, I didn't know there was this big a deal. That you can't have that reason. That cannot be an excuse.
But does it feel like they understood when you watch these games? Does it feel
If they
like
didn't understand, that is that will probably be the most disappointing thing of the entire season for me. Is if with this many Canadian players and players familiar with Canadian soccer, you turn around that they have a fundamental misunderstanding of the importance of this situation and of what they're participating in right now. I am floored if that's really how it went down.
because look, even right now they're
That's
having
another really good set piece. That's another really good set piece.
Yeah, but Elias, look, there's no urgency. We're in the 78th minute. Show me some urgency, man.
Oh no! The urgency left the building half an hour ago, Andy.
What are we doing?
Now,
Preseason for 2026 right here? Like, what's going on?
no, now it really is just pride. It's pride now. That's the only thing driving them, right? It's 5-1. You're not going to score 4 goals in 15 minutes. That's just physically not going to happen, right?
Yeah.
What you're playing for now, right, is just, I've spent the last month and a half getting the shit kicked out of me in every single game I've played in, and I'm not going to go out like this, right? This is the most sustained period of offense that they've had in the entire game, and it's been like 2 minutes.
Yeah. And guess who's on the
Right?
field? Stephanie Hill, and she's ripping and she's
winning the ball on the. She's winning corners. She's winning the ball. Look, yeah. She better be injured.
Yeah.
Because that's the only logical explanation that she's not starting.
But you notice that it's also when they made Toronto also made massive changes, right? They made massive changes.
They made 3 big substitutions. Granted,
and all of a sudden Montreal,
at the same time, Montreal made substitutions as well, right?
Yeah. It's just
both teams don't have their strongest 11 out there.
Yeah. It's just tough to see. And I'm saying again, I mentioned about Robert Russell Toy. He's there clapping it up. Guys, this is not a kumbaya circle. Maybe it's my anger, maybe it's maybe I'm completely out of the loop and I'm crazy to be wanting more energy out of the sideline, but it's just I don't know, Elias. I want to it's
the problem is is you can't, as a coach, you can't go sit on the side and just go
give pouts at the No, exactly. Look, it's 3-1. It's the 80th minute.
It's you would lose the room. You'd lose the team.
Yeah.
If while your team is getting their ass kicked, you're sitting on the bench, you're en train de bouder. No.
Yeah.
They're gonna turn on you so quick.
It's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to watch, and I think both teams want this game to win. I mean, Montreal looks a little bit why like this is the kind of energy we saw in game one of the season against Toronto in the same field. I believe it was the same field, but summertime,
Yep.
May.
Yep.
It was this is literally the energy we saw from them, just like
They
grind
scored in
and
like the
grind.
second minute. It was fantastic.
Yeah, and then just but now it's just obviously the end of the season, playoffs, and they're showing that same energy, but it's too little, too late. It's too little,
Look,
too late, and it's just.
we've given her a lot of shit this season. Haley Whitaker's having a really good game.
I mean, I think
Yeah,
she's the only one
again,
that.
the standard is the bar is not high, but
Yeah,
she's the only one having an even like an okay game, right?
yeah,
She's been the only one that has not stopped running. So you give credit where credit is due. She's been the only bright spot on this team.
yeah. You haven't taken. Did Megan Solvig get taken out, or where's
I
she
don't
playing?
think
Oh no,
so.
she's playing more of a center back, right? So that's why she's playing really
Oh,
back.
she tucked a little bit to the inside, but I think she's staying with
Yeah,
fullback.
yeah. Okay, because yeah, just. I mean, you kind of saw. I think I saw. I mean, us leaving the field, she looked like she was emotional, and also Shalabibo. But I mean, they have nobody else to blame but themselves. I mean, they just underperformed thoroughly. So
Yeah,
it's tough to see.
100%.
Boychuk is the only one out there actually showing any. That I asked for this, Elias. I asked for the players to show a little bit of
A little bit, yeah.
nastiness, a little bit of
Yeah.
let's go, like let's go. Don't stop playing that BS game, right? And Boychuk is the only one doing it right now, and she's the one that scored a
I
goal.
mean,
So
at the same time, you're up 5-1 on aggregate. Why are you time wasting? Why are you time wasting? You're up 5-1. You're
you know,
kind of you're putting yourself in a position to aggravate an already frustrated player.
yeah.
You're gonna get run into. It's just it's you. You're literally you're telling her you're taking the piss. You're gonna get hit.
Now, what are we
That's
having
also why
more?
she didn't get booked, right?
Yeah, sorry. And she's already on a yellow card, right?
Exactly. That's why. First of all, that was never going to be a second yellow, but that's also just like, come on.
And Haley Whitaker gets taken out. I don't know who came in for her, unless it's Olivia Mbala. Yes, it is. But yeah, Toronto players are already celebrating on the sidelines with every
As
reason
they
to.
should. As they should.
Yeah, but yeah, yeah. Look, guys, tough season to watch, a tough season to see it end like this. I'm gonna say it's gonna end like this because it is clearly the end already. But
Yeah.
Montreal has to really look at themselves in the mirror and really see. Oh Jesus! Oh boy!
It's a well worth goal.
It's just it's. But like it's. I was just saying that the season's over and that happens, but it's um I just want to see the replay. I kind of want to see what happened there because where it started, how it went, because I kind of happened so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Stephanie Hill's side and Julia, just a bad clearance from Stephanie Hill. Yeah, yeah, no one to blame, but just again, Toronto players seem to want it more. They seem to be at the right place at the right time all the time in every play. Um, I think Montreal should consider themselves lucky that they got one goal out of this. But yeah, at this point, you're playing for pride. You're playing for the fans. Hopefully, I think a lot of Montreal fans probably turned off their TVs as they have every right to do. But yeah, it's a shame. Like I was saying earlier, before they scored a goal, I think it's going to be important for the Montreal coaches and staff, Marinette Pichon, the and all the players themselves to say where did I go wrong? What did I do to improve this team? What did I do to make it worse? Where can I go to 2026 not to let this collapse happen again? Because it seems like there were, you can point to Latifa Abdul, you can point to clinching the playoffs, you can point to this and that, but at the end
Yeah.
of the day, the result is that you are getting eliminated from playoff contention
Decisively.
on a 6-1 aggregate score, and that's just not acceptable. It shouldn't be acceptable. It shouldn't be the kind of way you want to go out, especially after after you lit up the league. You lit up the league with everything. So I think this team is way too talented to go out like that. I think they have way too many good pieces, but as you mentioned, Elias, the depth that's missing, right?
That's definitely one of the issues. Yeah, I think that's something that is probably the most easily addressable thing is the depth. But the stuff that needs a bit more work, well, that's a Charlie horse. That's uncomfortable. Um, I think the thing that needs to be that take a lot more time is developing this culture and this identity of how are you going to play and how are you going to make it successful. Because if your metric for success is making the playoffs, then congratulations, right?
Yeah.
But you can't end the season like this. Not just in the playoffs. You can't end the season the way that you did over the last month and a half and call this as a successful season. You can't. That's just the reality of it.
Tanya Boychuk playing mind games there with the goalie.
Yeah.
It's the kind of attitude I've been asking for, but not at the 86th minute, down 4-1.
Yeah.
But hey, you know what, Toronto? If there are any Toronto fans with us tonight, mad praise to you guys. I think the team did it perform really well, and I think they have a very good chance against Vancouver, who is also a very good team, but they showed that they are vulnerable against Ottawa at times. But again, it's Toronto also. I can't really say if they were good or bad because Montreal didn't really test them. They didn't really test
No.
their starting line. They never
It's
got
it's
past
very
their own.
impressive at how much they again, Montreal hasn't given much to be worried about over the last, in the final run of the season. But the fact that they really didn't stress at all for 90 minutes is very impressive. Because again, remember that this game, the first leg, Montreal played well. They were very unlucky to lose that game 2-0. They very much could have ended in a draw, if not even a win, if they had been a bit more clinical. Again, if they'd been more clinical, they also wouldn't have finished in fourth place. They would have finished way up higher during the entire
Yeah,
season. So
yeah,
it's not like it was a one-off. But it goes to show you that, this entire season, especially this run of form, the biggest thing that you need to address is your attack. You have to beef up the attack because it's horrifyingly lacking.
yeah. Laurie Thibault is not your solution. It's not what's going to get the game changer that maybe they expected her to be. I know she had a few run of games with the injury of Noemi Paquin. I think we saw some of
Yeah.
the good and some of the bad from her, and mostly bad because honestly, I wasn't very impressed with her play. But again, they try to create that magic that Paquin had with Noemi Sauvé, and no Noemi, Jesus, Megan Sauvé,
Yeah.
and it just never reappeared. And I think maybe along the way, Megan Sauvé kind of lost trust in herself, confidence in what we had seen before, and just hasn't been able to bounce back. So, um, yeah, look, we're at the 88th minute. Toronto up 4-1. Obviously, this one is out for the books for us. We're here just analyzing and looking what it's very little to analyze because it's pretty straightforward. And Montreal was not good and Toronto was much better.
Mm.
But we always look at the other perspective, right? Because there's so much to say. I mean, you want to celebrate some of the victories of this team where there were games where they literally blew teams out of the field. They knew they seemed to be in complete control of the game. Their celebrations in the locker room where they seemed to be like a very united team and all that. But those moments, like now today, when you're looking back at it, these girls are going to go back into the locker room and what do they tell each other? What do they say? Good job, good try. At least it wasn't 5-0. Like what are you gonna say, right?
No,
It,
you
it's
go you go and you lick your wounds and you get ready for the off season. You be professionals. That's it, right? Well, I said it
Guys,
earlier.
that's the
It's not a Disney movie. You're not gonna go. We're gonna get through this with the power of friendship. You be
Mhm.
professionals. You get back to work. You understand? Like this game is a misrepresentation of the season, and is gonna overinflate the issues. The very real issues, but the issues that are there. So you go back to work immediately, right? You take a week or two off. You take some time off. Obviously, it's been a long season. You put in a lot of work. You take a little bit of time off, and you get back to work. You be professionals, and you work towards next season. Both the front office, the administration, and the players.
It's going to be a long one, and I think they're going to need to, like I mentioned earlier, a bit look in the mirror and really think about what the next steps are for this
Yeah,
team, because
absolutely.
there, don't forget, and obviously at the Ballers Round we're going to cover it too. But there's FC Super du Quebec that is coming up, the men's CPL team next season, and they're obviously going to draw a crowd. And if Roses FC continues falling at home like they did this season in the late run, those stadiums might not get as full as they were this season, because there will be options, there will be other things that people might want to
Yeah.
tend to, right? So it's going to be tricky. It's going to be tricky, but this team, I think they gave us a good first year of ups and downs, Elias. I think they tested kind of our nerves a lot of the times, but
Yeah.
they are a
That's
very
one way to put
interesting
it.
team. I think they connected really well with the fans too. I think having local Canadian fans, a lot of players. Look, as you mentioned, Elias, one of the players, Stephanie Hill. You can relate to her because she went to school with you, or she went to school with your brother. So things like that. How many people must have gone to the stadium? Like, I went to high school with her. I went to this with her, whatever it may
Mhm.
be. But they're very much people from Quebec, and people that they grew up with. But this is still a professional soccer team, and in a professional soccer team, you're expected to win games. You're expected to deliver. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, the Montreal Roses season is over for 2025.
Is over.
Um, in a very ugly way, if we want to say it like that. It's not it wasn't pretty. Um, yeah, I definitely expected much more from Montreal. I didn't expect them to go down 6-1. Was it aggregate score?
On aggregate, yeah.
Like, I didn't expect. I expected maybe more of a fight. I would have liked it to go to
It's
penalties.
crazy how much it looks like Donadell, man.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, but it's just it's that we definitely, I think, Elias, we expected maybe them to show up more in the playoffs. Maybe the last few
Absolutely.
games of the season were a
Absolutely, yeah.
fluke. Maybe they just needed to get to the playoffs to finally show their best hand. But they never came back. They never actually showed that they
No,
could do better. So
no, they did not.
it's gonna be a tough one to watch. Elias, we're actually gonna, after this, I think we're going to take a little bit of a break too. We have our off season
Yeah,
too.
we will be back with the Roses postmortem.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a two-parter, but we will
No.
have one. And yeah, we will yeah, obviously take the winter off because not a whole lot of soccer going on there for sure.
Yeah. I just want to see if the NSL updated their stats, just to kind of look at it while at the end now. See if we have anything here that we could talk about. Um
I don't want to talk about this. Are you crazy?
let's just finish the show
What's
off
the
with
matter
that.
with you?
It's all rainbows and butterflies. All right, let's see here. Can you see my screen? So
Okay.
you can see here that Montreal ended the game with a little bit more of 60%. Earlier was 60%, now 61%. Toronto had 12 shots as opposed to Montreal 7, and then on target shots 7. Montreal had 4. Total passes, Montreal still dominated, but again, those passes were very negative. They were not positive necessarily. And accurate passes also, Montreal had much more. Total touches, Montreal had. So again, if you just look at the stats, it seems like Montreal utterly dominated this team, but it's not. It's far from it. It's actually very. I mean, those stats are not really fair to show exactly um
Yeah.
what this game was, and also we go back to the players and the touches and all that I mentioned at halftime. Julia Leas led the game with touches with 115,
It's the
and
entire
Haley
back
Whitaker
line.
with 101. And you were saying that's the side that seemed to where Haley Whitaker was having the most the better game. Megan Sauvé was third. So again, it comes into question why they took Lucy Capadonna out, because maybe she didn't have the most amount of touches, but also her side was very. I mean, Toronto just ripped that side to pieces. It's
Yeah.
we can look at it goal by goal, but it was just that, Elias. It was the tiny details. It was just a I want to say a total collapse of the whole team, the whole defense.
Yeah.
To me, Elias, it's hard to pinpoint this person or this player. It just seems like a collective effort that they failed.
A collective. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. This was a team effort.
I think that there needs to be questions asked to Robert Rossitoyu today. Right now, we're obviously not there, so we won't be able to attend the post game. But it's there needs to be questions asked as to what was said at halftime. You're down 3-0. What was your idea at that point? Why did you not make any subs? Why were there no major tactical changes? Why did the team show up to the second leg so flat, so
Yeah.
out of touch with what's going on around them? It just seemed like, yeah, it just seemed like they weren't ready for today, and they were maybe. Do you think maybe they were ready for the offseason already? Do you think that they gave up on this game? Like, what do you
Who
think?
knows? I think after halftime, probably.
Yeah.
But, it's no excuse. You're professionals.
Yeah, so it's definitely another kind of game we wanted to see Elias today. This was our first watch along the game. It honestly we were gonna do just a regular show today, Elias, but it ended up being you know
Oh, well,
it ended up
Mother
being a
Nature said otherwise.
unscripted on the spot. Thank you, Roses FC, for giving us some content to talk about, even though it was very tough. But and thank you guys all for joining us tonight. We had a lot of fun, Elias. I think we enjoyed the watch along. We had our technical issues. Thank you for sticking through our technical issues at the beginning of the show. But yeah, and I think we'll see them soon, Elias. We'll see them very
Absolutely.
soon. All right, guys. Well, don't forget to subscribe if you like what you listen tonight. Subscribe to all of our social media, all of our shows. Sorry, all of our channels, or where they're Blue Sky, Instagram, X, anywhere you guys can find the ball is round. Follow Elias's account as well as mine on X, Blue Sky, Instagram, everywhere, just to get the up to dates, everything that's up to date. And we'll see you guys next week.